welcome you all students for today's science class. In today's class, we will revise Unit 3 Matter Around Us. So, this unit we learned about atoms, molecules, elements, compounds, and atomicity. Atoms. We all know atoms are the smallest unit of an element that exhibit the properties of that element. They are called as atoms. All the matter is composed of tiny particles called atoms. So when you take water, rice, and everything we see around us is made up of atoms. Atoms are the basic unit of a matter. Even with the best of the optical microscope, we cannot see atoms. However, there are advanced instruments that help us to imagine the atom on the surface of a material. Next is molecule. When an atom combines with another atom or atoms and forms a compound, it is called as molecule. So molecule is nothing but when an atom combines with another atom, or when two or more atoms combine, they are called as molecule. A molecule is made up of two or more atoms chemically combined. So molecules can be classified as below. A molecule which contains only one atom is called monoatomic molecule. So, as I said before, a molecule is made up of two or more atoms chemically combined. So, when a molecule contains only one atom, it is called as monatomic molecule. For example, inert gases. So, when a molecule contains two atoms, it is called as diatomic molecule. You can see in oxygen, nitric oxide, hydrogen, etc. Next is a molecule containing three atoms. So when a molecule is made up of three atoms, it is called as triatomic molecule. Ozone, sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, etc. are triatomic molecules because they contain three atoms. Next is a molecule containing more than three atoms is called as polyatomic molecule. They contain more than three atoms. For example, phosphate, sulfur, etc. They contain more than three atoms. So based on the number of atoms, the molecules are classified into monatomic molecule, diatomic molecule, triatomic molecule, and polyatomic molecule. Next is molecules of element and molecules of compound. So molecule of element mean they consist of a fixed number of one type of atom chemically combined. So only one type of atom only it consists of. Here you can see, for example, chlorine gas. It consists of two atoms of chlorine. Oxygen gas consists of two atoms of oxygen, and nitrogen gas consists of two atoms of nitrogen. So only one type of atom is present, whereas in molecules of compound consist of a fixed number of different types of atom chemically combined. Here you can see in carbon dioxide, two atoms of oxygen and one atom of carbon is combined to form carbon dioxide. In ammonia, three atoms of hydrogen and one atom of nitrogen chemically combined to form ammonia. In hydrogen chloride, one atom of hydrogen and one atom of chlorine chemically combined to form hydrogen chloride. So, in molecules of compounds, different types of atoms chemically combine to form a molecule. It is called as a molecules of compound. Next is we will see what is elements and compound. So we all know matter is composed of tiny particles called atoms, and matter is of pure substance and mixtures, and pure substance can be classified into elements and compounds. Elements. Matter in its simplest form is called an element. So, matter in its simplest form is called as an. We are using many elements in our daily life. The common salt which we use consists of two elements, sodium and chlorine. And when you consist of water, water has two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. And we burst crackers, right, for festivals. That crackers consist of magnesium and phosphorus, which are elements. Then in agriculture, they use sulfur as manure. Sulfur is an element. Likewise, in mobile phones, they use gallium for making mobile phones. So, gallium is an element. There are 118 known elements till date. Out of these, 94 elements occur naturally, while 24 elements are synthesized artificially in the laboratories. So, now we will see the classification of elements. Elements are classified into metals, non-metals, and metalloids. So, metals. The elements that are malleable are called metals. Malleable means a material may be flattened into thin sheets or various shapes. Metals are generally hard and shiny element. Sodium is one of the exceptions as it is soft. So, metals will be generally hard and shiny, but sodium is a metal, but it will be soft. All metals except mercury are solids at room temperature. Mercury is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature. So, a metal which is liquid at room temperature is mercury. Metals can be bent or beaten into sheets and they can be drawn into wires. So, as I said, metals are malleable. They can be flattened into thin sheets or various shapes. They can be bent or beaten into sheets and they can be drawn into wires. Metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. So, here are a few examples for metals: copper, lead, tin, nickel, steel, zinc. They are all metals. Next is non-metals. Non-metals are just opposite to metals. Non-metals are generally dull and soft. However, diamond is shiny and also the hardest natural substance on earth. Non-metals are just opposite to metals. They are generally dull and soft, but diamond is a non-metal, but it is shiny and it is the hardest natural substance on the earth. Non-metals can be gas, solids, and liquids. Non-metals such as oxygen, hydrogen, and chlorine are gas at room temperature. Carbon, iodine, sulfur, and phosphorus are solids at room temperature. Bromine is the only non-metal that is liquid at room temperature. So, non-metal can be gas, solid, and liquid at room temperature. Non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. As we saw before, metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. Non-metals are poor conductors of heat and electricity. But graphite, it is a non-metal, but it is a good conductor of electricity. Here are a few examples for non-metals. Sulfur, phosphorus, carbon, bromine are some of the examples of non-metals. Next is metalloids. Metalloids exhibit the properties of both metals as well as non-metals. Example: boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium. So these are examples for metalloids. Symbol of an element. A symbol is an abbreviation or short representation of a chemical element. So there is a unique symbol for each element. It represents one atom of the element. These symbols are accepted by the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, in short, IUPAC. Dalton was the first scientist to use the symbols for the elements in a very specific sense. Berzelius suggested that the symbols of elements can be written as one or two letters of the name of the element. So the following rules are followed by assigning symbols to an element. These are the rules. These rules are very important while assigning symbol for an element. So first, the chemical symbols usually consist of one or two letters. Only one or two letters can be assigned for a symbol. The symbols of most elements corresponded to the first letter, which is capitalized of their English name. The first letter will be a capital letter. For example, the symbol for oxygen is capital O and for hydrogen is capital H. So the first letter should be capitalized and the second letter can be a small letter. So in case of chlorine, the symbol for chlorine is Cl, capital C and small l. First letter will be a capital letter, so capital C, and the second letter will be a small letter, so small l. Chlorine symbol is Cl. So I hope now you all know the rules that has to be followed while assigning symbol to an element. Next is compounds. A compound is a pure substance that is formed when the atoms of two or more elements combine chemically in a defined proportions. So a compound is nothing but a pure substance that is formed when atoms of two or more elements combine chemically in a definite proportions. So the compounds exhibit properties that are entirely different from the properties of the constituent elements. For example, here you have the common salt, which is a compound. It is made up of the elements sodium as well as chlorine. Sodium is an element and chlorine is an element. When sodium and chlorine combine, they form the compound common salt. Common salt is used in our food, right? Whereas when you take the element, the sodium and chlorine, they are poison and they are unsafe for consumption. When this poisonous sodium and chlorine elements combine, they form common salt and it is not a poison, right? Because we are consuming it. So the compounds exhibit properties that are entirely different from the properties of the constituent elements. Properties of compounds. A compound is formed only when the constituent elements combine in a fixed proportion. The properties of a compound are different from those of its constituent elements. We saw, right? Sodium chloride, common salt. Sodium and chlorine are poisonous, whereas when they both combine, they are used for consumption. So, the properties of a compound are different from those of its constituent elements. A compound cannot be broken down by physical methods. This is because a compound is made up of different elements that are chemically combined. So, they cannot be broken down by physical methods because they are made up of different elements that are chemically combined. For example, sodium chloride cannot be separated by physical methods such as filtration. A compound can be separated into its constituent elements only by chemical method. So we cannot separate them by physical method, but we can separate them by chemical methods. Next is atomicity. Atomicity implies the total number of atoms present in one molecule of an element, compound or a substance. Here is an example. Oxygen exists as a diatomic molecule, which means that a molecule of oxygen contains two atoms, hence its atomicity is 2. So oxygen is O. O plus O gives O2. So oxygen atom plus oxygen atom gives oxygen molecule. So two atoms of oxygen combines to form an oxygen molecule. Therefore, its atomicity is 2. I hope you all understood what is atomicity. So assignment, define the following terms with an example for each element and molecule. Differentiate metals and non-metals. What are compounds? Give 2 examples. I hope this revision section will help you to recollect what all you learned. Thank you.